Hello YouTube, I'm just going to walk you through how to create a watermark for your photos or documents, and I'm using Adobe Photoshop CS6, but you can also do this in earlier versions of Photoshop. So the first thing I want you to do is create a text file, a text layer, sorry, so that I can um, work on a watermark. So I'll type in whatever I need to type in. In this case, it's my web address. Resize it so we can see what we're doing. Change the color to white. Okay, and then I'll increase the size of that. Change my font to something you can see better. That's much better. You always want a font that's nice and clear and clean, easy to read. I always find that works better. Then you go into your file, into your layer settings, and not layer settings, just your layers, and then you start adding effects. So bevel and emboss, size 5, that looks good, it's fantastic. And then the modes, I want to start with multiply on the top and screen at the bottom. Also change that to white. That should be alright. Then you go into blending modes, and I'm gonna knock down the fill opacity all the way down to, you can knock it as far as 0, but as you can see we're losing the bottom edges of the watermark there, which you can correct by adding a drop shadow and change the angle of the drop shadow till it falls to the bottom. It's not there we go, about there. So our watermark is just about ready to go, and you can stick with this if you're happy with it, but I would like to play around with it a bit more, see if I can get more pop out of it. Now the size here is looking a bit messy. Distance, that's pretty good, but I want to change my opacity, lift it slightly so that you see your watermark. There we go. So that's basically how you create a watermark in Adobe Photoshop. And you can add a stroke to make it even clearer. And if you're happy with it, then you save that. So I've basically created a watermark for my file that is transparent, as you can see, and is movable within the file since Photoshop supports non-destructive editing. You can also duplicate this by pressing Command J on a Mac, and then you move the duplicated file up, Command J on a Mac again, or Control J on a PC. Now I've got 3 watermarks. So what I like to do is hold on my Shift key and then select all the text files. So the first one is selected already. All I need to do is hold down my Shift key, then select the bottom one, and then Command G or Control G to put it into one group. That way you don't have a messy file area and your watermarks are all in one file. Why I do this is when I save the file, that's what I want to save as a PNG file. So I'll go to save as, or you can go save for web, but it doesn't matter. Save for web gives you the opportunity to resize it to whatever you want it to be. In the first one, I always like to save the Photoshop document in case I want to edit it later. So, and now I'm going to save the PNG file. So it's already named, saving to desktop, and I select PNG, which is Picture Network Graphic. Picture Network Graphic supports a transparent background like this. In case you're a beginner, when you see a checkered background like this, it means it's transparent, there are no pixels in it, or it contains transparent pixels. Anyway, so that's how we do it. So it's asking me to replace. Yes, I'll replace the file I saved earlier. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to go ahead and delete this group so that you'll see the watermark in effect. I'll turn on my background. You don't need that layer also. and Control O on a PC or Command O on a Mac, and we're going to look for our watermark. There it is. Double click it to open. And once it's open, you drag it to the side, and then you need to be in your move tool, sorry, which is the tool at the top, and then you just drag it and drop it into the new file, and there we go. So from now on, you can go Command T or Control T on a PC to resize it. Or maybe you just want one section of this. So what you do is, once you've resized it to whatever you want, you can also change opacity and play around with it a bit more. So I can change the opacity of that. Maybe you want it very subtle, so that's how you do it. And maybe you just want one. So what you do if you want one is you select your marquee tool or your marching ants, and you can do that by pressing M on your keyboard or simply selecting that. And you select the part that you want. Make sure you're in the layer that you're working on. Make sure it's highlighted. Then Command C or Control C on a PC, Control V, and then let's just hide that layer. And there you go. You have one watermark now. And if we go V again to select our move tool, you can move it around, and there you have it. You've managed to create a watermark which you can reuse over and over again on different photos, and it's as easy as opening up a new photo and dragging and dropping the watermark onto it. As easy as that, really. So once you're there, then all you do is grab your layer, drop it, and you're good. Resize it. Why I saved it as a PSD document is because, as you can see in this one, you might have a preference for less effects on it, so you can always go back and edit the PSD file or the Photoshop document and have it to what you want it to be. So that's how you create a watermark in Photoshop. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Please pass it on to other people you might think might like to know how to create a watermark. So thank you very much for watching.